I read a long time ago a novel by Tolstoy, I think it was either Anna Karenina or War and Peace, in which he said essentially that people are only happy when they live for others. Is this the only thing that should make people happy?
It's an important ingredient of happiness to be aware of others and to maintain a connection with them. And when we're alone and without others, to find a way to restore some kind of relationship that may have been broken. It's also important to live for ourselves and know what our goals and values are.
I'd say most of the time I'm happy. Sometimes, yeah, everybody gets depressed once in a while, given the world circumstances. I think that's going to be even more so in the coming year, but I'd like to think that I'm happy most of the time. How can I make it so that my finances are not as tied to my happiness as I think they currently are?
You certainly can separate happiness from finances. And too much focus on finances is an ingredient for unhappiness in the present economic times. People can be happy because they're living a balanced life and taking care of other people and looking at the possibilities of the future without unrealistic expectations of either being rich or famous.
So I guess my question for Dr. Horowitz would be, how does he distinguish the importance of kind of big picture, long-term happiness versus kind of short-term, smaller thing happiness, like having the puppy, hanging out with friends, versus big life changes like new house, new job, getting married, life change kind of things? You know, how do those fit together, and how can one manage both really for like an overall picture of happiness?
It's a balance. Certainly the present moment is something that we're living in, so being here and now and paying attention to the good things that are happening is really very important. And having some time in planning the long term is also important, so that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot in the short term.
For my own personal happiness, and maybe for everybody's, I think it's like, do you feel happiness is, a deep feeling of joy, or is it just the absence of pain?
Happiness can occur in the midst of unhappiness. We're a complex species, and so we have medleys of emotions. And so attending to the part of that medley that's positive is really important, and also attending to how we can reduce our unhappiness is very important.
I just want to know, how can I be happy when all my sports teams are just failing so miserably and just dragging me down into a pit of despair and emptiness?
Imagine if all games were fixed and they'd always come out your way. It would be very boring. And so happiness really is in the midst of a balance between success and failures. It's part of our human predicament. We actually enjoy kind of the right amount of stress of not exactly knowing what's going to happen next. The important thing is to live life safely enough that we don't step off a cliff when we're taking some exciting risks. As you may know, this book takes a stance that one of the roads towards happiness is by the mastery of stress. So of course in the book I take on gradually some heavy issues and give the tools for people to master those stresses. I thought it would be a good idea to have the last chapter deal kind of with my top 10 list of what kinds of things might you consider that could give you some satisfaction pretty much this day. So here's my top 10 list of things to consider that might make you happier. Number 10 is savor pleasant sensations and satisfy your appetites. Of course, you have to do that in a safe way. I like to eat chocolate. Too much chocolate can spend too much money and make you gain too much weight, but it sure is satisfying to do it. Number 9 is enjoy group memberships and rituals and festivals. We are connected to other people, and times when we felt warmly connected restore a sense of well-being. I, for one, like to watch political speeches for some strange reason, so I'm looking forward to the inauguration of the president. Number 8, embrace diversity with a kind of affectionate regard. We all are going to confront groups of people or individuals who are somehow different from what we identify most with as our community. And we shouldn't feel like they're criticizing us because we're different, and we shouldn't criticize them because they're different, but we should sort of say in a kindly way, isn't that interesting that we're different? Number 7, allow time for peace, quiet, and solitude. We need to cultivate the ability to be alone for periods of time. It's important to be able to restore yourself. For me, painting does that. And so a time quietly connected with color and line and form gives me a tremendous change within not too long a time. Number 6, enjoy your creativity, enjoy your work, enjoy your competence, and enjoy your achievements. We are all somewhere on a kind of hierarchy. We may not be the number one in spite of things in football where we go like this. We may be not at the bottom, we're somewhere in there, but we still have all been productive in our own way. And we should, with a kindness to ourselves, being our own best friend, take some credit for it. Number 5 is enjoy the achievements of others. This is a little harder for some people to enjoy because they may feel envious of the other person. They may do the almost inevitable human activity of comparison. But the human people have been here for a long time and have done some great things. And so even riding in a bus or an airplane, you can appreciate the fact that the road and the transport got done and someone's invented these things. Number 4, enjoy excitement, sometimes risk, and the enjoyment of threat. This is not for everyone, and it's certainly not a good idea if the threat is too dangerous. But safe thrills and bold excursions into something a little different can really make life seem much more vital, as long as we're careful enough. 3, embrace your soul and spirit. Almost everyone can have some states of mind that feel like grace, union, connection with something beyond ourselves, and that can give a sense of serenity. It may only be a short period of time, and we don't have to ruin it by being excessively philosophical or trying to decide what cosmology is. We can just accept it's a period of grace and it's restorative. Number 2 is the thing that teenagers especially say they want to do. Change the world for the better. As long as it's kept in a direction of where it's not too grandiose and one isn't not expecting to change the entire world, efforts to improve things for other people are a source of enjoyment, especially in terms of pride and self-esteem. Number 1, enjoy the flow of generations. We are connected not only with people at our own level, but we're connected with the people who are our roots, and we're connected with the next generations to come. And we are all people who have been taught, and we're all people who are teachers. We're all people who have been taken care of, and we're all caretakers. And we can get a lot of enjoyment in looking forward and backward in that way.